gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Fight Field channel, where we speak the truth. We're honest. We give our takes on AEW. It is the AEW Dynamite review, Wednesday night, August 17th, 2022. The crew is back tonight. The AEW crew is back on the Big Fight Field channel. You got myself, Wesley Williams, Cameron Johnson. I just felt the excitement in the air tonight, man. With all the rumors throughout months, that at least a month, that Kenny Omega was on his way back and he's feeling a lot better. And with the announcement last week that the Young Bucks got declined by Hangman Page and they need a mystery partner, man, just the excitement for the show based off Kenny Omega alone was really high going into tonight, and it paid off tremendously. Uh, I'm so excited that he's back. AEW's got CM Punk back. They got Kenny Omega back. Um, these guys were just talking to me how we might get MJF back. Possible, who knows? Really soon, hopefully. I don't know, man. AEW was struggling in the month of July. I thought AEW had a really underwhelming month of July. August, it's been a lot better between last week and tonight. It's been truly unbelievable. We got Cameron Johnson, Wesley Williams. Fellas, what is up? Really good show tonight. Cam, what's up, dude?
Bruh, bruh, bruh. That man, Kenneth Tyson Smith Omega, made his return tonight, bruh. That man, Kenneth Tyson Smith Omega, made his return tonight, man. That's what's up tonight, man. That's what's up tonight, man. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Kenny Omega day, man. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Kenny Omega, man. Kenny Omega day, man. This was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat show tonight, man. I forgot what they called the show tonight, but I know I had the dragon in it. So we're gonna call it Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. My boy Steamboat was on Dynamite tonight, looking as good as ever. As for somebody his age, look, AEW Dynamite, man. 4 weeks away from All Out, and they ain't taking their foot off the gas, man. My God, what a hell of a show this was tonight, man. And what a hell of a show this was tonight.
Yeah, man. With all the feuds heading into all that, we'll talk about that as well. I forgot I think it was like House of the Dragon or something like that for some HBO show or anything. But Wes, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? It's great to be back, and great to be back. It's such an amazing time for All Elite Wrestling, man, as we head closer and closer to All Out in Chicago on September 4th. I mean, last week it was CM Punk, and now this week we got the cleaner making his triumphant return to All Elite Wrestling, Kenny Omega. We have not seen any of Kenny Omega since I believe last November, so it's been nearly a full calendar year since we have seen Kenny Omega on AEW television, man. And what a wonderful thing it was to see him come back tonight and just the biggest fashion possible. He even brought our boy Don Callis with him, man. Don Callis making a return to AEW television, man. That might even be a bigger return right there. I don't know. But man, overall though, I mean, the AEW is firing on all cylinders at this point, man. And we're gonna get into talking about the matches coming up for next week and the show we got lined up for next week. But man, AEW Tony Khan is not messing around whatsoever right now, man. They're firing on all cylinders, man. I'm really, really excited to see what they got planned for All Out on September 4th, man. I mean, we're getting crazy with these shows, man. I mean, these shows so far in August, and it's like you said, Joseph, these shows so far in August have been a huge bounce back for them compared to their shows last month in July. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff we're getting right now, the amount of content we're getting from All Elite Wrestling right now, man. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into the full. We got a lot to talk about, and we got potential predictions coming up for next week as to what might happen with the big matchups happening next week. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, it's night and day from the shows that AEW's had just in the past 2 weeks to all the shows that they had in July. It's night and day how better it is now than it was a month ago. And by the way, since Kenny's back, I just realized, is Don Callis a babyface now? Are we really gonna think Don Callis is a babyface?
We might just have to. We might just have to.
Oh man. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. I thank all of you who are watching. I thank all of you who are tuning into the show tonight. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of wrestling content. We got a lot of football content coming up as well in the next couple weeks, leading up to the All Out pay-per-view and Clash of the Castle Labor Day weekend, and then for football, leading up to September 11th on opening day for the Patriots against the Dolphins. It's exciting stuff, man. So be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to go check out last week's AEW Dynamite review, and you can see me recap the Dolphins Week 1 preseason game if you want to as well. I don't really care about preseason, but if you guys want to check it out, you're more than welcome to. So let's get into Dynamite tonight. I was shocked that there was only 4 matches tonight, right? I think
it's like 4 or 5 somewhere.
Yeah,
around.
I think there was only 4 matches. I'm kind of glad with the way that two of the matches went. But we opened up the show with CM Punk. CM Punk walks out with the AEW World Championship. And folks, I'm just gonna say with a promo like this, this is how you get fans hyped up and excited for a big winner-take-all match like this. CM Punk came back 1 week later. He was absolutely lethal on the microphone tonight, saying Jon Moxley is always going to be second best. The biggest line that Punk dropped was, he's only the 3rd best member of his faction. I think he mentioned the Shield, but he didn't mention Rollins and Reigns, and that got a big reaction from the West Virginia crowd. So basically, this was CM Punk healing it up a little bit, pushing Jon Moxley's buttons until Moxley came out and was like, you know what, enough's enough. We don't have to wait until All Out. These guys just went brawling, and security came out. The brawl was a little corny, I thought, but the promo by CM Punk, I mean, that was just awesome. That's how you get people excited for a big championship match, man. And it was announced later in the show, so I'm just gonna say it now. I thought for sure this was the main event of All Out after last week. I mean, Punk's back, setting up the main event of All Out. Folks, we're getting the match next week in Cleveland, Ohio, 2 weeks from All Out. I don't know why. I don't know what Tony Khan's got planned, and I don't know what he could do bigger than doing Moxley and Punk in Chicago at All Out. I have no idea, but I'm excited, man. This is very exciting stuff, and I'm torn. I'm torn who's gonna win next week. But the promo by Punk was phenomenal. The pull apart brawl was just a little corny for me. But let's hear from you guys. Let's hear from Cam first on the segment, and then we'll hear from Wes, and then we'll get into the match next week. So let's hear from Cam first.
Hey Joseph, man, if you don't mind, man, I'm gonna kick it to Wesley real quick. Something just flew into my damn room. I gotta shut the door to make sure I don't get any more of these shits. So Wesley, take it away, my good brother.
All right. Well, good luck with that, Cam. So anyway, man, this is absolutely crazy development right now, man. What a way to kick off the show tonight. CM Punk and Moxley going to war on the microphone, man. I mean, this is something I think a lot of us have been waiting for. All these people that Punk has had microphone wars with. We got likes of MJF, the likes of Eddie Kingston, and now Jon Moxley, another man who is a master on the microphone, is somebody we wanted to see face up against Punk. And what a treat it was, man. These two guys just delivering, jabs and right hooks and left hooks left and right, man. I mean, it's just all over the place. These two guys just going at each other's throat. It was awesome. And then the pull apart brawl. I mean, these guys are just ready to absolutely kill each other. We even got a freaking second segment on this show of these two guys wanting to kill each other and people from backstage trying to separate them. And these guys are ready to fight. They're ready to see who will become the undisputed AEW World Champion. I love it. I love it so much. And the fact that we're getting this match next week, not September 4th at All Out in Chicago, not then. 2 weeks from then, next week in Cleveland, Ohio, and it's more than likely will be the main event of Dynamite next week. We got Jon Moxley versus CM Punk to crown the undisputed AEW World Champion. I couldn't believe my eyes when that graphic came up on the screen there. I thought I was dreaming. I thought to myself, wait, hold up now. That I see the graphic for Punk versus Moxley, but I don't see the All Out background. So something's a little fishy there. But no, your eyes do not deceive you, my friends. Next week we'll be getting CM Punk versus Jon Moxley to crown the undisputed world champion. And man, it is going to be absolutely crazy. Again, I'm with you, Joseph. I don't know what Tony Khan has got up his sleeve. I think I might have an idea about what he's got planned up his sleeve, man. But how everything's going to go, I can't really pinpoint that for you. But I think we're going to be in for something real crazy. I mean, we've already gotten some crazy things happening both this week and last week. And now we got another crazy show developing for next week in Cleveland, Ohio for AEW Dynamite. I mean, Tony Khan is not messing around right now, man. That's what I've been saying. AEW, Tony Khan, they're just firing all cylinders, and it's a crazy thing to see. And I'm really excited for it. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure, man. Did everything go good, Cam?
Yeah. I'm sorry about that, Joseph. Everything was good. I got the door shut. Everything was good. I got the door shut, and the bug and the thing that just flew in my house is dead. So I will take care of it. It's dead. So I will take care of that after this review. So, but
you're up.
My God, man, Punk hit me the clip, bro. CM Punk had a fully loaded clip, and he let that. Punk had a fully loaded clip tonight. He let that thing go. That man was shooting on everything and everybody. My God. Oh, my God, man. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, bro, when he said, you're not even the best Kingston I shared the locker room with. He was talking about Eddie King. I was like, damn. You know, I was like, damn, shout out to my boy Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion, that put some respect on his name. He's talking about the Shield and everything. Oh, my God, man. Punk went in with this promo, man. I thought this is an excellent promo, excellent way to set up, and an excellent way to, I thought this is a great way to sell some pay-per-view buys, but this match ain't happening on free. This match is happening next week on free television. So, I saw that shit. I'll be honest, I saw that shit. I was like, the fuck? I was like, what the fuck is he doing? And I'm saying, MJF got to be returning next week. That is the only way. Because I know they just not going to do this match on free television. And then All Out ain't going to. MJF got to be going.
I don't know. Did I cut you off?
No, you.
All right. I don't know. I don't know what's up with MJF and when he's going to come back or if he even is going to come back, but I don't know. My dad was sitting here and he was like, what if the match doesn't even happen next week? Like, I don't know. I don't see AEW putting a bait and switch on us. That would suck.
Wouldn't do that.
I agree, because that's something they don't do. Because I'll be honest, I was shocked when they did Punk and MJF on Dynamite earlier this year. I was shocked they actually went through with the match. I thought for sure something was going to happen. I thought for sure something was going to happen that would extend the match. That was safe the match for All Out. That match on Dynamite, I was shocked. So it's not like them to advertise something. Because that's something WWE. That's something WWE would do. That's something WWE would do. They advertise a big match that they have no intention of delivering on. They advertise this. They advertise Roman Reigns going to defend the Universal Championship against so and so, and then it never happens. I thought, and then it never happens. AEW's not like that. But unless MJF is not coming back, it makes me think that they kind of have to. Because just can't get this match away on television. Especially All Out 4 weeks away. I don't know.
All Out's 2 weeks away. It's not even 4 weeks away. I don't know what's gonna happen. I do think the match is gonna go through because I don't think that I don't think AEW is gonna bait and switch on us, but if I'm just so confused because what are these guys gonna do at All Out? You know what I mean? What are they gonna do besides have each other? I don't know. So, and who wins? I don't even know who's gonna win, which I love, but I don't know.
If anybody's gonna figure it out, I think it's gonna be AEW, man. I trust Tony Khan. I've trusted him so much up to this point. I think he's got something big planned, and I think we're all gonna be in for a real treat going into September 4th at All Out, man. I mean, it's just crazy right now, man. And Cameron, I think I'm with you too, man. I swear they got to be planning for MJF's return next week. If we got this big of a match happening on free television for everybody to watch at home and for those who are there live in Cleveland next week, I mean, MJF's return, a potential return next week would just blow the roof off the place, man. I mean, this is a guy, again, and we talked about this even before we started recording, like, MJF has been off the grid. This guy has not been seen or heard from ever since he cut that promo on June 1st. Granted, that was 2 months. That was over 2 months ago, and we have not heard a peep from MJF since. They have played this so well. I've been with ever since that promo was cut. I've been saying it all along that this is a work, and those who want to say, oh, it's a shoot, oh, he's jumping over to WWE, oh, Triple H is in charge now, he's definitely jumping over to WWE. It's not impossible. Maybe one day it could happen, but I've believed this entire time that Tony Khan and MJF have been planning for this for a very long time, and that this was all in the works. And now Punk's back from his injury. He's able to go. And now we got Punk and Moxley next week to crown the undisputed champion. What better time for MJF to come back than in this moment? Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe if they ended in a DQ, maybe this is one of those situations they ended in a DQ and we don't get a winner. I don't know. Maybe MJF spoils the whole thing and he gives Tony Khan an ultimatum like, you either put me in the match for the world title, you get me in this whole mix, or he has some sort of big repercussions or something for Tony Khan, something like that. I mean, because MJF has been screaming for so long that he wants to be the guy, he wants to be one on top, he wants to lead AEW, and he's had all these frustrations and everything. I mean, this next week I think is the time to take those frustrations out, man. Again, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I just threw out an idea. Maybe it's a DQ. I think we'll probably more than likely get a definitive winner, but it's going to keep us talking, man. It's unpredictable. We don't even know who's going to win between Punk and Moxley. I mean, we got a lot of insane development happening right now with this whole storyline, and I'm all for it, man. I cannot wait to see what they got planned next Wednesday night.
Hold on, Wes. Oh, Wes, you know what I'm actually thinking? What if it's a time limit draw with Punk and Mox? What if they go to a time limit draw next week, and that leads to a rematch at All Out?
Maybe it could happen. I don't know.
I have no idea, man. If with this match happening, the last thing I'll say, and then we'll move on. Who is going to walk out? I know this is a simple question. Who is going to walk out of Cleveland as the AEW champion? I personally think Moxley should win, but I think Punk's going to. I personally think Moxley should win, though.
I'm with you there. I think Moxley should win. I think Punk's ultimately going to win, and especially if MJF does come back. I mean, MJF, we all know the bad blood between him and CM Punk. MJF's had bad blood with Jon Moxley, but not on the level of his feud with CM Punk. We all saw how great and amazing that feud was. One of the best feuds we've seen in AEW yet. One of the best feuds we've seen in the modern era of pro wrestling is MJF and CM Punk. MJF, I think if he wants to take that title from anybody, it's CM Punk. CM Punk beat him at Revolution. Y'all remember, he beat him at Revolution in that dog collar match. MJF is out for blood. And CM Punk, and people also need to remember too, when MJF did cut that promo on June 1st and he left the ring, CM Punk was the first person to walk out there, and MJF ended up exiting into the crowd, but CM Punk walked out there to try to talk to him and reason with them. And so there's got to be seeds planted there. And they didn't air it on television, no, but that video made the rounds on social media. So there's a lot of people who've seen it. I think those are also seeds planted for another MJF CM Punk feud. Again, I feel like if MJF's going to win that title from anybody, it should and has to be Punk, because that'll really stick it to Tony Khan too, that, hey, look, I just beat one of your ex-WWE guys for the AEW world title here in the center of the ring. I mean, what better way to cap off All Out with a main event like that? I mean, and what Moxley does, I don't know. Again, it's all up in the air. There's a lot of different ways this could go, but I can honestly see right now MJF CM Punk for the AEW world title at All Out, and we see MJF finally become AEW champion. And man, what a freaking chorus of boos, cheers, whatever you can think of for MJF if he does come into Chicago in Punk's hometown and beat the hometown hero for the world title of All Elite Wrestling. I mean, would you guys not be like hooked on that? Like, it would just be absolutely thunderous, man. I think that would be a huge statement made by AEW for sure.
Here's the thing about that. If Punk wins next week, what Moxley does at All Out, I have no clue. But if you're gonna do CM Punk against MJF at All Out, they should kind of do it as an open challenge to get us excited even more about the pay-per-view. Because I feel like if you do a world title open challenge on pay-per-view, knowing that it could possibly be MJF, I think you get more pay-per-view buys. And then you get the big reaction at the pay-per-view. MJF beats CM Punk. He's like, I just beat your boy for the AEW world title, and now you're screwed. So, Cam, what's your prediction for next week?
I'm hoping Mox win. I'm hoping Mox gets her ace, but I think Punk pulls it out. I hope I'm wrong, though. I'm hoping Punk wins. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping Mox wins.
Yeah, I agree. So, we're all on the same page about that. I just can't. I'm excited, dude. I just want to watch the match already. So, I don't know. I legit don't know, dude. Anyway, we talked a lot about Punk and Moxley and what's going to happen with that. We got to move on with the show. We got Bryan Danielson against Daniel Garcia in a 2 out of 3 falls match. This was tremendous. An absolute war between these two guys. I did not watch Rampage on Friday. I haven't really watched Rampage in a while. It's just not worth it for me, man. But I did see their back and forth promo with Daniel Garcia calling Bryan his hero, and Bryan's like, if you're my hero, instead of being the best technical sports entertainer in the world, you be the best technical wrestler in the world. And I thought that was really good. That was really good stuff that happened on Friday. Tonight was tremendous. Absolutely loved this. Really good technical style wrestling match with a really good story. There was blood in the match from Danielson. Garcia got the first fall after making Bryan pass out. He called it the dragon sleeper, something like, I'm not sure what it is, but Garcia made Bryan Danielson pass out for the second time. Bryan then got the second fall over a reversed roll-up. The third fall was their best exchange. Really, really great stuff. With the third fall, Bryan blocking in the label lock, Garcia reversing it, and Garcia putting in the Red Death. Garcia even did the head kicks that Bryan does. He even did the psycho knee that Bryan does. So he was just doing a lot of stuff that Bryan does. He tried to do the drop kick in the corner as well that Bryan does in his matches. And I think at the end, what did Garcia pass out from? Was it the label lock or the guillotine?
It was a label lock.
Okay. So he passed out from the label lock, and Bryan won. And then after the match, Bryan was sitting there, and all of a sudden, Garcia goes to touch his leg, and Bryan's acknowledging it, and and he's clapping it up for Garcia, and he's looking at the crowd and pointing to Garcia, and he's standing up with Daniel Garcia sitting down, and he offers his hand to shake Daniel Garcia's hand. And Chris Jericho, who's that on commentary, he was jealous. Chris Jericho was jealous while this was going on, and he went to attack Bryan, and Garcia pulled him off, and it's like, what are you doing? Jericho was mad at him, and he's like, don't touch me to Garcia. So the seeds have been planted, folks. The seeds have been planted for Daniel Garcia to leave the Jericho Appreciation Society and join Bryan Danielson. I loved everything about this. I don't know about you guys, but I thought about it today at work. I'm like, if Bryan wins tonight, and we're probably getting Bryan and Jericho, they should. I know they do this all the time. I don't think it's going to happen, but they should do a stipulation where Bryan's putting his career on the line, because Bryan said on Friday that no one's gonna make me want to retire from wrestling, and Garcia keeps bringing out how he's made that Bryan Danielson's made him cry, and then you get the storyline that Daniel Garcia doesn't want to get emotional again from Bryan Danielson retiring. I don't know if I'm just trying to overbook it, but I do think at the end of the day we will see Daniel Garcia paired up with Bryan Danielson. I don't know if he'll necessarily be in the Combat Club, but I definitely see him being paired up with Bryan Danielson. Let's start with Cam with this one. The thoughts on the match and the thoughts on the post-match stuff and where this leads to at All Out. Cam, you're up.
I thought Danielson versus Garcia was tremendous. This reminded me of every time I see these guys in the ring, it reminds me of Benoit and Malenko, WCW, or if you want to get more recent about it, Angle Benoit. It's just every time I see these guys in here, every time I see these guys in the ring, it's great stuff every time. Daniel Garcia being only 23 years old and being as good as he is a test is unbelievable. He's tested how good Daniel Garcia is. Bryan Danielson continues to be one of the best wrestlers in the world. I thought this was a great match. My only criticism about this match was Chris Jericho. I cannot stand when Chris Jericho is on. Me personally, I can't stand. It makes me want to mute the television. It makes me want to mute the television whenever he's on commentary. I cannot stand him on commentary. But I thought this was a great match. I thought the post-match stuff was great too. And to add to your point, Joseph, about the stipulation at All Out, I can see the stipulation at All Out being Bryan. I can see the stipulation at All Out being Jericho having Bryan put his career on the line, and Bryan having Jericho put Daniel Garcia on the line. Daniel Garcia, Bryan beats Jericho. Daniel Garcia joins the Blackpool Combat Club. Jericho wins. Jericho wins. Danielson has to retire from AEW. I can see that being the stipulation there, and I can see that being the stipulation there, and I see Daniel Garcia costing Chris Jericho this match in the line of the Blackpool Combat Club. For some reason, I just see that as the stipulation. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. It's supposed to do, but you could have segments, but you could have some backstage segments where Daniel Garcia is watching Blackpool Combat Club footage. You have Yuta talking to him, you have Regal talking to him, you have Fox talking to him, you have Moxley talking to him, you have Moxley talking to him, trying to I can see that being the stipulation. Bryan's career versus Daniel Garcia's status. I think the stipulation we get.
I could see that. That's not a bad stipulation at all, actually. Wes, what'd you think?
Yeah, this was awesome, man. Just a technical masterpiece by both Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson, man. These guys went to an absolute war. just kicking the living hell out of each other. I loved it. Loved every second of it. Brian winning, I figured that was going to happen, and it looks like we're more than likely getting Danielson versus Jericho at All Out, which would be great as well. And Cam, I like what you brought up there too. I think putting Daniel Garcia on the line, if Brian wins, Garcia joins BCC. And if Jericho wins, Danielson leaves AEW. I like that. Maybe we might see that happen. It might just end up being a regular match. Who knows? But I think definitely Daniel Garcia is definitely heavily involved in all of this now, as the seeds are now planted for Garcia possibly leaving the Jericho Appreciation Society and joining up with Danielson. I really like it, man. I mean, a lot of people have talked about since Garcia came into AEW and they see what he's got done in the ring, that seeing Daniel Garcia paired up with Danielson is something that a lot of people have wanted to see, and I think we're going to end up getting it eventually down the line. And I think Danielson versus Jericho is definitely going to add more to the storyline right now with Daniel Garcia as pertains to him and his where his alliance is, whether it's with JAS or whether it's with the BCC. So I'm really intrigued by all of this, man. And again, kudos to both Danielson and Daniel Garcia, man. These two guys went to an absolute war tonight. It was awesome to watch. And man, I can't wait to see what else develops between these two guys and with JAS and BCC.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. All I know is, as Garcia is probably not going to be in the Jericho Appreciation Society for a long time, but he's freaking skyrocketed in AEW with this feud with Bryan Danielson now. With these trilogy of matches, he's really gotten up on a high level in AEW now, where I think now when he turns babyface, he's going to be really over. And I don't know, man. I could see him being a champion in the next year. Hopefully. I could see him being maybe TNT champion. He ain't beating Wardlow, but I could see him a champion in the future in AEW for sure. So, we'll see what happens, man. I'm definitely excited, and excited to see what's going to transpire between with Garcia and Jericho. Next week, we're getting a face-to-face with Jericho and Garcia, and Jericho's going to find out what side is Daniel Garcia truly on. I don't think we'll get that answer until the pay-per-view. So, we went from that to a backstage segment with Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt, where they talked about FTR and Wardlow calling up back up with FTR to help him take down them three. And they challenged them to a 6-man tag at All Out. I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry. I love Wardlow. I love FTR. I love Lethal. But this match should be on Dynamite. And I'm not a fan at all with the fact that the TNT title is not being defended on pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of that. And I don't know what's going to happen with the tag titles now that FTR is doing this. I mean, if they wanted to do it on Dynamite or Rampage, fine, but I don't know, man. I mean, it should be fine, hopefully. Wardlow and FTR against Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt at All Out. So, any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you, Joseph. I don't get this whole thing going on with the TNT title, why it can never be featured on now. I don't get why Tony Khan can feature all the other titles, but the TNT title is like, it just cannot be put on the line at a pay-per-view at all. I feel like this is now like the third or fourth pay-per-view I've seen of theirs now, like where the TNT titles is put in the background once again. And it's just not to be, I mean, it's been involved in this feud, yes, but like, I don't get why we can't just get Wardlow facing somebody in a legit feud for this title. Like, I thought with Wardlow winning the TNT title, we would see this title be put back into prominence after the whole fiasco with Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky and all that nonsense. But it looks like the TNT title, I mean, I'd say it still looks fine on Wardlow. I mean, I'm definitely still happy with him being champion, but we need to get him in some like meaningful feuds. Otherwise, you're just going to downgrade him being over as a face. And I feel like not as many people are going to care about whatever Wardlow's doing, even though you spent all this time building this dude up to be one of the biggest baby faces of your company. And now he wins the TNT title, and then Tony Khan. It's like when somebody wins the TNT title, Tony Khan's just like, well, I don't know what to do now. Let me just think. Who's not doing anything? Okay, we'll just throw you right in here. That's just kind of what I feel like is happening. But the 6-man tag, I mean, it should be fine. I just, I wish we would see something better for Wardlow and for FTR, especially considering that FTR is the most over tag team in the entire world right now, and they should be, built into doing something better or, for the time being, but whatever, I mean, it should be fine, but we really need to start seeing this TNT title put on the paper, and instead of it just being like thrown in on a random episode of Rampage or Dynamite, like I would be more okay with this 6-man tag if it was on Dynamite or Rampage, but the fact that it's going to be on pay-per-view, it just again, it proves to me that Tony Khan again just doesn't really know what to do with the TNT title, and he just thinks it's always the best idea to throw it in the background for pay-per-views. I don't get that mindset whatsoever. The TNT title again once was a title that even people were saying that was even more important than the AEW World title, and that's a big thing. I mean, it's supposed to be like your Intercontinental title, where it's supposed to be the most prestigious title in your company. And right now, just the TNT title just feels like an afterthought. It feels like it just shows up from time to time, and then it ends up getting put in the background. So I'm not a fan, but the match itself should be fine. But I hope for better. I was hoping for better by this point, but we're still getting there, I guess. So
yeah, I agree. I hate it, man. I hate it. The only thing that I could look forward to with that match is, I guess Wardlow powerbombing Satnam Singh, because if that does happen, which probably will, I do think that'll go over really big. But I mean, this title should be defended on pay-per-view. Cam, you got any quick thoughts on this?
Kind of torn on this because I understand why they're doing the 6-man tag. FTR has not been on. FTR has not been. FTR has not been on. They have not been on a pay-per-view. They have not been on an AEW pay-per-view. I know they're on, but before. But in terms of an actual AEW pay-per-view, they haven't been on pay-per-view since Revolution. This is Revolution. The TNT title has not been defended, but the TNT title has not been defended on pay-per-view. This is all out match. This is all out match. I don't like the way they're booking Wardlow right now, because Wardlow seems like he has cooled off significantly ever since the summer, and ever since he won. It just feels like Wardlow's momentum was sky high at some point, and now it feels like his momentum is falling. And he's still very over. Like he's still very over. People still going nuts for him, no doubt. But it just doesn't feel the same anymore. He's the TNT champion. He's the TNT champion. He should be on. He should be one of those guys that's on. In the TNT championship should be contended on. This 6-man tag should be happy. Again, I understand why they're doing it, because they want to get FTR on pay-per-view, but at the same time, this match should be a the title at all out. Don't like the TV title. It is 1 second fiddle. I 1 second fiddle. I don't like that at all. That TNT title does not be on pay-per-view. There's almost that's not been on pay-per-view in almost a year. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. You're breaking up a little bit. I understand what you said, but you are breaking up just a little bit. But you're fine. I don't like it, especially for a guy like Wardlow, who I love. I love Wardlow and what he's done and since turning babyface. But I don't know. It just feels like ever since he's won the title, he's cooled down, and that sucks for someone who's really over. So we'll move on. Unfortunately, the poor treatment of the night goes to the Varsity Blondes. I feel I feel bad for those guys, dude. There's no point of them being a tag team. They were literally sent out there to lose to the Gun Club in about 60 seconds. And the whole point of this was for the Ass Boys to turn on their dad, and they're joining up with Stokely Hathaway now. And now Stokely's got Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, and the Gun Club. I don't know where this is going. I honestly don't. Is this like one big faction, or is this Stokely managing all of these guys? I don't know. I don't know what the point of this is. I'm confused. I guess the only thing I could say is wait and see what happens, but I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on this? We'll start with Kate.
I think with Stokely, I think the idea is they're trying to turn him into like the modern day Bobby Heenan. Because if you remember, into like the modern day Bobby Heenan. It's Bobby Heenan back in the 80s in the AWA with the WWE. He had, back when the 80s, back with WWE in the 80s and the AWA. Bobby Heenan had the Heenan family. Bobby Heenan was managing a bunch of random guys. Where Bobby Heenan was managing just a bunch of random guys and guys that you didn't really think belonged together. King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant, Haku, Haku, Mr. Perfect. He was, but they were all part of the same faction. They're all part of the Heenan family. I think they're trying to recreate that magic here with Stokely Hathaway, but I'll be honest. But I'm sorry, Stokely Hathaway. I think Stokely Hathaway is fantastic. The dude is very entertaining. Follow on Twitter, and he's great on Dynamite when he's on there. No disrespect to Stokely Hathaway. Nobody gives a shit about these people except for Ethan Page and Lee Moriarty. Nobody gives a shit about the Gun Club, man. I'm sorry, they just don't. Nobody gives a shit about the Varsity Blondes either. Why was this shit on Dynamite? Why was this shit on Dynamite? You could have put this shit on Dark. Keep this shit on Dark. Keep this shit on Dark. Why the fuck was this on Dynamite? No offense. I'm sorry, but I don't think this match had any business being on Dynamite. And with the Varsity Blondes, I would be shocked if the Varsity Blondes are still under AEW contract by the end of the year. I would be shocked if they are still under AEW contract within a year. And we talk about AEW names that could be, and we talk about AEW names that could be jumping to WWE. I think the Varsity Blondes could be one of those teams, especially Brian Pillman Jr. I think he could be one of those teams that I could see Triple H throwing him an offer when his contract expires and he just takes it, or if he gets released from his contract. Because I don't think these guys are going to be under AEW contract in under a year. I just don't. I'm sorry.
I agree with that. I agree with you on that, actually. Let's go to Wes.
Yeah, with you too, Cam. I was even thinking that, like, after this whole thing went down, I was like, man, I think Griff and Pillman are about to jump ship. Like, if there's two guys I can see jumping ship to WWE, I think it's going to be those two guys. Because, again, you got to think about it now with Triple H in charge. I mean, there's probably a lot of wrestlers out there now, even probably some that are working under in AEW that are looking to WWE right now, and they're thinking, wow, now we actually might be able to have a chance over here, because under Vince McMahon's supervision, the Varsity Blondes would be getting treated even worse in WWE compared to even now. And, like, I don't even know how much worse you could get right now, but for them, but I ultimately just feel bad for Brian Pillman Jr. because, man, Brian Pillman Jr. is a great wrestler. Like, he's very underrated. Like, I think he's a very, very solid guy. His promo work it could be a little bit better, I guess. But, I mean, I think overall, like, he could be an infectious baby face, if you give him the time of day. And I think even he said in, like, a report, like, or some sort of interview he did, like, not that long ago, where he said, like, he was pretty disappointed how a program between him and MJF never really got going because, like, they had that whole dispute, like, heading into, I think, the Arthur Ashe show or whatever. And after that, it was kind of just like MJF moved on to bigger and better things. And then Brian Pillman Jr. was kind of just left to the wolves. So, and I think he was just back with the tag team with Griff Garrison. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly, I think those two guys are going to end up leaving AEW at some point. That, like, Tony's probably going to let their contracts expire, and then I could see them to be honestly. I don't know if they bring in both guys or they just bring in Pillman, but I think either way, Triple H will know what to do with these two guys. I think I could definitely see them being like an underdog babyface team that could make their way to the tag titles, whether they be on Raw or SmackDown. But yeah, this was kind of, I mean, I would say this is probably the weakest point of the show tonight. It was overall a great show, but I'd say like not many people really cared that much about it. The people did pop for the Acclaim coming out. I will say that they of course got to pop for the Acclaimed. I mean, the Acclaimed are great. You know, they're everybody's favorite tag team. Come on, but yeah, I mean, the Acclaim being baby faces, I'm all for that. And I guess Billy Gunn is their new manager after this. I don't know. I mean, the Acclaim don't need a manager, in my honest opinion, because Max Caster's already great enough on the mic. You don't need a manager for these two guys. I mean, they're already a package deal. You don't really need to have anybody in there. But, yeah, I don't know what the whole plan is with Stokely Hathaway recruiting all these guys like Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, the Gun Club. It's like Cam said, no one really cares about these guys. I don't think people are really going to treat these guys like they're a big deal, or not. I mean, I feel like the fans are really going to buy into these guys as a big deal, is what I really mean to say. And I feel like it's just going to be kind of like another situation like the Factory. Like, no one gives a freaking crap about the Factory. We know who the guys are in this group, and no one cares. Even Anthony Ogogo doesn't mean shit, you know, like right now, because he's associated with a shit faction, you know. And so it's like, you know, we'll see what happens. Stokely Hathaway is a great manager. I mean, he's a great mouthpiece for sure. And maybe it does get over. But at the end of the day, I don't know how well this will work. Time will tell if this ends up being a big faction or not. And then, of course, Stokely Hathaway is also Jade Cargill, so he's also got that going on. And I think that's already been a really good thing going. Like, if that's something that's been going well, it's Stokely Hathaway with Jade. But yeah, didn't really care that much about it. We'll see what happens, but I just ultimately don't think many people will care that much. So
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling about this. I just feel terribly bad for the Blondes. They're talented. They were a solid tag team with oh god, what was
Julia.
Julia, and they lost Julia to the House of Black, and they were dead right there. And they're just tiny fish swimming in a pond with huge sharks now, and it feels like they already have 1 foot out the door. So it kind of sucks. Kylan King against Tony Storm. This match was fine for what it was. Tony Storm did pick up the win over King, and it was announced that All Out we will be seeing two friends go at it. Tony Storm against Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's Championship, Part 2. So I should be fine. I thought it was going to be a fatal 4-way with Britt and Jamie Hayter, along with Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa, but I'm perfectly okay with another Tony Storm Thunder Rosa match. So, any quick thoughts, and then we'll get into upcoming matches, and we'll get to the main event for sure. We'll start with Wes.
Yeah, the match, like you said, Joseph, fine for what it was. Hopefully, we get more King. I like Kylan King a lot. I think she's underrated in her own right. I would like to see more of her on AEW television. Maybe build her up a little more, and especially too since she's been like with AEW since the pandemic era. You know, I mean, she's been wrestling for them on so many episodes of Dark for sure. But she's been a workhorse for them. I'd say like throughout the pandemic era of pro wrestling, and then here she was tonight. So I'm hoping maybe they can lock her down for a deal, and we can see her on the roster and doing stuff with the other women in AEW. But we got Thunder Rosa versus Tony Storm coming up on the 4th of September, All Out. I think that should be really good. I really enjoyed their last match at Forbidden Door. I thought that was very solid, and I think we're gonna have another good matchup here. We'll talk about more once we eventually do All Out predictions. But I kind of feel like Tony should win this next matchup, because I feel like if Tony doesn't win, then I don't know what you're doing with Tony Storm at this point, really. So, but I mean, it's probably too early to call. We'll talk more about it as the weeks progress going into All Out. But I think overall it's going to be a solid matchup, and I don't know what's going to happen with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Maybe we get a match between them. Maybe we actually see the turn happen on Britt Baker or whatever. We get them two feuding. I don't know, or maybe because it seems like we haven't really heard anything from them since Jamie Hayter lost the title match against Thunder Rosa a couple of weeks back. So we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to another Storm Thunder Rosa match. It should be really good.
Cam?
I think Sony Storm versus Thunder Rosa should be. I think Storm versus Rosa too. Should be really really good. I'm with US. I hope they signed Kylan King. I'm with US. I hope they sign Kylan King. And if it's a case of AEW needing to make some budget cuts or to make that happen, no disrespect to the Gun Club, but I think we can make no disrespect to the Gun Club and no disrespect to Aaron Solo and Anthony Ogogo. But I think we can make some budget cuts happen, Tony Khan, in order to bring in, in order to sign Kylan King to a full-time deal. I'm just saying, no respect to them guys, but if you ain't got no room in the budget, if you ain't got no room in the budget, you cut the, if you need some room in the budget, in order to sign Kylan King, I recommend starting with them two right there. No disrespect, but I want to see more Kylan King on Dynamite.
Hasn't she been in NWA, I think?
I think so. I'm pretty sure she was doing stuff with them.
I think so, too. So,
Anyway. Don't nobody watch the NWA. They got Tyrus wrestling in a pay-per-view main event.
Yeah.
Nobody watched it.
Funk is on a roll, man. Funk is on a roll.
Rampage on Friday night. I will not be watching. I mean, I don't know. I maybe highlights, but I don't know, man. I just can't get excited about Rampage right now. It just feels like a B-level show. We got Private Party challenging Swerve and Out Glory. That is Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland for the AEW Tag Team titles. We got Hook against Zach Clayton for the FTW Championship. We got Orange, the Best Friends against the Trustbusters. Which, by the way, that was freaking last week on Rampage with Sonny Kiss. That was the most random heel turn I think I've ever seen on a wrestling show. Like, what was the point of that, dude?
I can't explain it to you. I really can't. I mean, I watched Rampage live last week, and I was talking to you guys too before we started recording. I have been tuning back into Raw and SmackDown now that Triple H is running things, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but SmackDown was better than Rampage last Friday, and I mean that wholeheartedly. SmackDown had a way better show, a way better main event too. I mean, when you have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title compared to a Sonny Kiss heel turn, I think it's not that hard to decipher which I thought was more entertaining. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the Trustbusters faction at all, really. I mean, cool to see Parker Bordeaux in AEW. It's cool seeing him. The dude is a beast, man. That guy, he already looks really good. So I will say I really do enjoy seeing his work already. But this whole faction with Ari Daivari, whatever that other dude's name is, the freaking Walmart M&M, and Sonny Kiss now, I guess, the Trustbusters. I don't know. I hope the Best Friends win Friday. Because I don't know. I mean, I think the Best Friends, they're definitely going to lose in this tournament, and I've even thought to myself, possibly, and it probably won't happen. I don't know, but what if the Best Friends turn on Orange Cassidy, and Cassidy goes on his own? I don't know. I mean, it's. I'm just throwing that out there as like a small idea. I don't know, but the Best Friends definitely aren't winning this tournament. I feel like there's been like more frustration for like they've been pent up for them over a little while, considering that they haven't won any gold in AEW, and now this is another shot for them to win gold, and they're gonna fail again. And I feel like Trent and Chuck could very well take out frustration on Orange Cassidy. It may happen, it may not. I just wanted to throw that idea out there, but hopefully, I would hope they win this match Friday, because I don't care for this Trustbusters faction at all. I think it's kind of lame. So
I don't know. I will say this. I will say this about Parker Boudreaux. He definitely has the look to be a star, and he is signed full time with AEW. Tony Khan put out a tweet, and I saw people complaining about it on Twitter. Oh, why would you sign Parker Boudreaux? He's a waste of talent. He sucks. He sucked in NXT. The only reason I know he's not the best wrestler in the world. He's not freaking, okay? He's not freaking Ray Phoenix. He's not Darby Allin, okay? He's not Sammy Guevara. But but he was literally booked in the trash gimmick in NXT, and they set him up for failure. Basically, they set Parker Boudreaux up for failure, and I hope for the best for him in AEW. I really do, because I'm a fan of his, and he follows me on Twitter, and I just want to see him get pushed, man. I wish him nothing but the best in AEW. Do you want to say anything about this, Cam?
I just want to say this about the Parker Boudreaux thing. First off, Tony Khan, please stop signing people, or please stop signing people I do not give a shit about, man. Arya Daivari is under AEW contract. I don't give a shit about Arya Daivari. I didn't give a shit about him in the NXT and WWE until I felt right. What makes you think because you write in the show I'm gonna give a shit about him? The same thing with Tony Nese. Great talent. I don't give a shit about him in WWE, NXT, when he was the Cruiserweight Champion. Now you want me to care about Tony Nese? Stop signing these people. Stop signing these people to full-time deals. You signed Arya Daivari, but you got Bandito and Dragon Lee out here, free agents, man. Come on, Tony Khan, man. Get your priorities together, man. Lock them down first. Knock down Bandito, lock down Dragon Lee first. That's one. And two, I just want to say this about the whole Parker Boudreaux thing. I just want to say this about the whole Parker Boudreaux thing. I think the fans who watch wrestling on national TV, when they see a wrestler in there that is just bad or not up to par with their standards, they shit all over him without understanding the fact that he hasn't been doing this long. It's not like Parker Boudreaux is like Parker Boudreaux is a 5, 6, 7-year veteran who's been training all over the world before he got the NXT, before he got the NXT, or before he got somewhere. That's not the case. Parker Boudreaux was new to this. The dude's been doing this for what? A year? The dude's been doing this for what? A year? The dude's been doing this for a year, 2 years? Get that man time, bro. Y'all got to give that man time. Give him time. If he's still shit 2, 3 years from now, they call him. If he's still shit 2, 3 years from now, then okay, fine then. I'll agree with you. He's some shit. But with a lot of these guys who don't have a lot of experience, stop expecting them to put them in a ring and then they're gonna show up and they're gonna be like Kurt Angle. It's not gonna be like that, man. Y'all gotta give these dudes time. Y'all got to give these dudes time. It's like with NXT 2.0. Yeah, the in-ring work in NXT 2.0 is shit. But a lot of these guys, you gotta understand, a lot of these guys have not been doing this long. They got signed and they got paid to go to wrestling school, so it's gonna take them some time to pick up some. This is gonna take them some time to pick up some things, man. Not everything can be microwaved for y'all, man. Where y'all see a wrestler and expect them to put on a 5-star match right away. Y'all can't microwave these people, man. Y'all gotta give him time. If he's still shit a year, 2, 3 years from now, then okay, fine. You can call him shit all you want to. A dude who's been doing this, who's barely been doing this a year, man, or he's been doing this a year, y'all gotta give that man time. Y'all gotta give that man time to improve and to develop before y'all sit there and shit on him. Y'all gotta give that man time, man. Y'all got to. It's the same. It's the same thing with NBA players, man. Y'all got to give these people time to improve and develop. If they don't improve and develop after a year, 2, 3 years, fine, then call them shit. But after a year, couple months, come on, man. Y'all can't be doing that. Y'all can't be calling these people shit. They ain't been doing this long. Stop that.
You nailed it right on the head there, dude. That was freaking excellent, and I agree with everything that you said there. I just want to see him succeed. And it's like an NBA player in the G League. Like, let them develop for a little bit, and then when they're ready, they can come up to the MLB and stuff like that. I just want to see Parker develop and make him better and stuff. And these people are impatient on social media. It is what it is, but I'm excited for his future. I am a Parker Boudreaux guy, and I would like to see him get pushed in AEW in the future, not now. If he gets pushed, I don't want to see him get pushed in this Trustbusters faction. I'm sorry. So, main event, Andrade, Rush, and Dragon Lee against the Young Bucks and Kenny by God Omega. The lights went out. Justin Roberts did his thing. North Carolina and all that stuff. Kenny Omega came out through the babyface tunnel with Don Callis and Michael Nakazawa. He wore a long sleeve black shirt with the tape with his right shoulder all taped up. Um, I'm not going to go over the match entirely, so this is the segment I made last week. This is the new segment on the shows. If y'all didn't, you got to go back and watch that match. This week, go back watch that match. It's this main event right here. If y'all haven't watched the match, if you didn't, you got to go back and watch the match. It's just a lot to dissect. Kenny was a little bit rusty, but overall, man, I thought he looked really good in there. The people in West Virginia were pumped to see him to see him there, man. He had good chemistry with everybody in that. We know his chemistry with Andrade and Dragon Lee is really good with previous matches. He had fine chemistry with Roosh. The Young Bucks are doing their shit. That spot where the spot of the match was freaking, and I can't believe Omega took this. Omega was sitting on top of the guardrail where the guardrail was close to the ring, and Dragon Lee did a suicide dive onto Omega, onto the floor on the outside where like the crowd was. I can't believe Omega took that spot the first night back. I would have been like, no, I'm not taking that, risking my shoulder to be hurt even more. And then the ending. The One-Winged Angel, he dumped Dragon Lee right on his head, but it's fine. He was the selling effect of Omega not being 100%. Jim Ross was bringing that up to Don Callis. So I thought this match was freaking amazing. If you did not watch the match, you got to go back and watch it. The Dragon Lee turn on Dragon Lee, I don't really think means anything because I just think he was in this match to be the partner of Andrade and Roosh. I don't think he's going to be there long term with them. But man, this match was amazing. I'm so happy Kenny's back, man. And I know there's a lot of trios out there, but I think the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are perfectly fine as your first ever trios tag titles. I really do. That's the perfect team, I think, to give the first trios tag titles. It might sound boring and bland, but with the return of Kenny and all that stuff, it is inevitable that it is going to happen. So I'm just excited about all of this. I'm hyped that he's back. When he's healthy, when he's between 80 and 100%, or when he's 100%, in my God honest opinion, in all of wrestling, 100%, Kenny Omega is the best wrestler in the world. And that's just my opinion. I'm really, really happy that he's back. And AEW's picking up again, man. They're getting their big boys back. That Bryan Danielson's back, CM Punk's back, Kenny Omega's back. Hopefully sooner rather than later. MJF's gonna be back. We got CM Punk last week, and this week we got Kenny Omega. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Gonna start with Wes with this one.
Yeah, this was a very, very entertaining main event, and the return of Kenny Omega was nothing short of excellent. Well, I love seeing Kenny Omega back. It's been far too long since we've seen the cleaner on our television screens, man. To have him come back as a beloved babyface is just even better. I liked the story that they're telling with Kenny Omega not exactly being 100% just yet. He's still getting there, but I don't think people should think too much into it as far as real life goes. I mean, Kenny probably still is pretty banged up, but I mean, if he's still, clearly he's still ready to be back and ready to be wrestling again. And he definitely put on a hell of a performance with Mad Nick Jackson night against Roosh, Dragon Lee, and Andrade. But yeah, again, very entertaining match. Yeah, that suicide dive from Dragon Lee to Kenny on the outside into the crowd, man, absolutely insane stuff. Stuff I couldn't even imagine, just any normal human being doing, man. These guys are built different, that's for sure. But it's just great to see Kenny back. I was kind of surprised we did get Don Callis back too. I didn't expect him, but I guess we're gonna have to start being Don Callis marks around here now, man. If he's gonna be a baby face, we might have to start. We might have to start getting some Don Callis merch out there. We might have to go out and buy it. I don't know, but it's great though, man. I love seeing Kenny and back with the Bucks, man. It just feels right. It sucks that we don't have Cole, Bobby Fish, or Kyle O'Reilly in this tournament. But I feel like there's definitely going to be a story built up over time as soon as Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly are officially 100% healthy again, because I believe they're still hurt right now. But yeah, this is awesome stuff, man. What a way to kick off the trios tournament. And we got even bigger and better things leading up, going into All Out, man. And yeah, first trios champions. I would say that it doesn't look too bad on Omega and the Bucks, but we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see who they meet up against too in the finals as we get through the tournament. But it's exciting times right now in AEW, man. We got Punk last week, Kenny this week, maybe even another return next week. I don't know. We'll have to see, but it's awesome stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. As far as who they're definitely winning the trios titles. As far as who they meet up with in the finals, with everything going on with Darby Allin and the House of Black, I do think the Best Friends is going to be in the finals, which I'm going to be honest, they've been there since the very beginning. I think they deserve it. If they're not going to win the trios tag titles, they've been one of the main factions in AEW since the beginning. They've been up there with the Elite, with like who's been there since the beginning as far as like factions go. So if you want to give spotlight to the Best Friends at a big show against the Elite, I would not mind that whatsoever. I'm totally down for that. Cam, let's hear your thoughts, man. I know you're excited that Kenny's back.
Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all remember when Jeff Hardy debuted on AEW television, and I called that man Jeffrey Nero Hardy. And I sat here and I said on this review, when someone is acting up, you got to call them by their government name. It would be disrespectful to just call them by their regular name, man. It'd just be disrespectful. When Steph Curry is on TNT and he's putting on just the shooting clinic. What you got to do? You got to go online and you got to type Wardell, Stephen Curry. It's a respect thing. So that's what we got to do here with Kenny Omega, man. Kenneth Tyson Smith Omega. Welcome back, my guy. He was showing his whole ass tonight, bro. Kenny was showing his ass tonight, man. It was incredible. God, Kenny Omega is back. I'm happy. I'm sure Kenny Omega is still a bit banged up because I think, I'm sure the guy's still a bit banged up, but it's suspected, it's suspected. It feels like the guy broke every bone in his body. It felt like the dude broke literally every bone in his body, putting on 5-star classics for us in the year 2021. So in the year 2021. But man, I am so happy Kenny Omega is back, man. I thought this was an excellent match, man. I want to see Tony Khan needs to lock up Dragon Lee. I know he got Roots locked up. He needs to lock up Dragon Lee, man. This is an excellent match, man. Hell of a match here. I'm so happy Kenny Omega is back. And Joseph said it was going to be the Best Friends in the finals. I got the Dark Order. I got the Dark Order going to the finals because I think Hangman Page. I know Hangman said he was going to be in their corner, but I think someone gets taken out with the kayfabe injury. I think we see Hangman Page take that spot. I think All Out is the Best Friend. I think All Out is the Elite against the Dark Order with Hangman in the Dark Order shoes. That's what I think happens, man.
So you think the Dark Order is going to beat the House of Black?
I do, because I don't think the House of Black are going to. I don't think the House of Black are going to. I don't think the House of Black are going to the finals. I think Miro's getting involved. They're costing the House of Black that victory. I think with the House of Black, I think at All Out it's going to be the House of Black against Darby, Sting, and Miro. That's just me. That seems to be the direction they're going. Either that, or it's going to be Malachi and Miro. So I think the House of Black. So I think the House of Black get bounced out in the first round because of that. But yeah, I do. I think the Dark Order going to the finals.
Wow. So they're going to have to protect. If that happens, they're going to have to protect the House of Black in this. So what
I think you're gonna have Murphy take the pinfall. I think Buddy Matthews. I think you're gonna have Buddy Matthews take the pinfall. I think Miro's gonna cost them anyway, so I think that would kind of protect them. Now I think Miro's gonna cost them anyway, so that would kind of protect them. You know, they're gonna want revenge, and boom, you know, they're gonna want revenge. You know, they're gonna want revenge against Miro. Sting and Darby make the save. Boom, that's how that match gets set up. But that's just me.
Yeah, I could see something where it's Uno, Silver, and Reynolds, and Alex Reynolds gets kayfabe injured, like in the middle of the match, and Hangman Page has no choice but to be the replacement of the Dark Order. Say they take out 10 before the match or something like that, and then kayfabe Alex Reynolds gets hurt, and Hangman's the hero for the. I don't know. But again, again, what does Hangman Page do at All Out? So I don't know. I don't know, man. It should. I could honestly. No, I can't see the House of Black. It sucks, but it's either going to be the Dark Order, the Best Friends against the Elite. I think it's going to be the Best Friends, but with what happened tonight and the return of Kenny Omega. I think the wait for the trios tag titles to get here, I think it was worth it, man. There's just a plethora of matches that you can do with these titles, and I'm excited. I'm excited heading into All Out, man. So I'm about to get on out of here. We're about to get on out of here. Thank you all so much for tuning into the review. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fat Fuel channel. Comment down below what you guys thought of tonight's episode of Dynamite. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from us tonight. Follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Colin_Joseph. Cam, where can they follow you, my friend?
Follow me on Twitter at Cam1101. And also make sure you subscribe and see the podcast, man. A brand new episode went up yesterday. Me, Escobar, my friend Keegan, and Gamers Goons. And Gamers Goons, that little check, that jackass. That jackass. We talked about what we would like to see with Triple H not running WWE. We talked about what we would like to see creatively Triple H not running WWE. So if that interests you, make sure you check that out.
Wes, where can they follow you, my friend?
You already know. Follow me over on Instagram at The Real Wesley Snipes. You can also follow me over on TikTok with the same exact username. Again, that is at The Real Wesley Snipes. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in to another Big Fight Feel AEW Dynamite review. Again, very exciting times right now in All Elite Wrestling as we lead towards All Out in Chicago. I mean, the matchups we're going to continue to get over time is absolutely electric. It might end up being the biggest built-up pay-per-view yet for AEW, man. It seems like we say that a lot about a lot of their pay-per-views, man, but they just keep on stacking these pay-per-views sky high, and it's going to be very fun to watch. So, Joseph, send the fans home.
Folks, thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you back here Saturday night to talk about preseason week 2 with the Dolphins against the Las Vegas Raiders. But we will see you, all three of us, back next week for Dynamite. CM Punk against Jon Moxley. It's going to be a big night, man. It's going to be a big night. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week, just like we did tonight. So we're out. Have a good one. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy. We out. Peace.